Okay, hey, what's up guys, it's MLG, and this is part 2 of the There's a Wrong Way to Play video, my wrong way to play video I did last week. And what I want to do with this one is simply acknowledge and answers or response to some of the comments I had in the comment section, and just also clarify a few of the points people made, in order to finish off in a better fashion than than it was in the first video. So first thing first, that I want to get right off the bat, I want to thank everybody who took the time to exchange with me in the comment section and took the time to write these long commentary expressing their ideas, because it is, I'm sorry, my car is making a sound. It is a sensitive topic, super sensitive and controversial topic, and it is also semantically nuanced and subtle and complicated to express and to explain. So it is the perfect combination for debate and heated discussion and all that, and everybody in the comment section for the most part managed to keep it polite. So I'm grateful, and I wanted to express that. That's the first thing. Second thing, I also want to make it clear that this is a rhetorical exercise. This is it is not, I'm not talking to anybody. I'm not aiming at anyone. I'm aiming at these ideas. Relativism as an idea, not as someone. But the thing is that in the last video, I took an example of the last Nerdarchy video that was talking about that from, I think it's 2 weeks ago now. And I'm not sure, but I think that the name of the guy is the GM Info. I'm not sure, but I think that's the one. He commented in the comment section. So I want to apologize, if it felt like I was ranting at you, or if it, because these guys at Nerdarchy, they're really cool guys. Like I said in the first video, I strongly recommend their channel. They're great. So I don't want to. It's just that because the thing is that I used that video as an example because it was the last one. I'm sorry for the wind. It was the last one I saw, but it's one out of many. There's hundreds of people saying that online, and I'm addressing the ideas. I'm not addressing this one in particular, but it might have felt that way, and I apologize. So there you go. Now, in all of the comments that was expressed in the video, the most important one, the one that is really making a difference to me, and this is the one I want to clarify here, has been made by Varg Vikernes at Tulian Perspective, and it was followed by Null Inquisitor as well, and a few other people. It's a great comment because these guys are sharp as diamonds, and it is what they say. What they say basically is that I'm making a category mistake in my videos. In my video, my part 1 video, I'm making a category mistake because the guy in the video that I use as an example is talking about playing the game the way you want, in terms of rules and in terms of mechanic and approach to gaming and all that. And the example I'm using in my video to express the idea are all triggered at bad behaviors around the table. So they are triggered at the moral component of the game. So the difference between playing the game and how you play the game, right? So it's quite true. But the thing is that I freestyle my videos, so I don't prep in advance, and I should maybe, but I don't care. So I just freestyled a bunch of examples out from the top of my head, and it happens that they were all moral bad behaviors, and so they say, yo guys, we agree with you. I mean, people with bad behavior, they should just get out of the game. We're talking about rules. All right, so you guys are quite right. My examples were not clear. They were all triggered at the same thing, which is the moral component of the hobby. And what I said in the comment section, and I keep on saying it here, is that I don't make that difference. To me, the way you utilize rules and the way you behave around the table is all part of how you play. It's all part of how you play, and it to me it doesn't make it doesn't make a difference. I'm sorry, I'm parking here. The thing though is that Varg is right. He's saying in the comment section, he's saying, yes, but these categories exist with or without you. So what he's saying, I'm sorry, I'm looking for parking. There's none. So basically what he's saying is that there is a difference when you talk about behaviors around the table, ethics, like moral component, and there is also like a difference when you talk about the rules. So therefore how you play and how you follow the system and all that. So you should break it down, and I didn't. So I didn't break it down because, like I said, to me it's the same thing. If you decide to play by the rule or not, if you decide to be moral about it or not, if you show up on time, if you're a nice guy at the table, if you share ideas with others, if you're proactive and all that, I mean, and if you decide to house rule, or if you decide to not use a rule, all that to me is part of the same thing, is participating in the hobby. And this is the thing, is that if you listen closely to my first video, I'm talking on a really general level. I'm talking about participating in the hobby. This is the words I use, and I'm gonna stay on that level. I don't want to break it down. So here's a few examples of why and how I see it in terms of you can be wrong with the rules, and so no moral, no bad behavior thing here, just the rules. So for example, if a designer design a game and he's clear with his goals and he's clear with his intention, so let's say for example you design a game and it's a combat game, right? So you create a bunch of rules, for combat, specific rules and subsystem, hand fight, and like gun fight, and like knife fight, and you all have these subsystem, and it's really fighting game, and it's triggered at fighting, and it's triggered at violence and action. Car chase, subsystem for car chase and stuff like that, and you use it for political intrigue. because you like the genre and the setting of the game, and you don't use the you use maybe 10% of the combat rule in the game. That's an example of how you play it wrong. You don't use the good game. It's not the right game. You're not using the right game for your political intrigue. You want to play, and I know people do that. You want to play a Game of Thrones type of setting, and you use D&D. In Game of Thrones, there's no elf, there's no dragonborn. There's one dwarf, man, but it's not a dwarf. You know, and there's no political skills really in D&D. You have like diplomacy and maybe history, or I don't know. You have like 2 or 3 max. But there's a game that is called Game of Thrones that is built to do Game of Thrones. So you should use that one. So you play D&D wrong, or you play Game of Thrones wrong. I don't know, but this is another example. The intention of D&D is not political intrigue. So, good games, in my book, they have a clear intention. And it's well described in the book, and it's well designed to emulate that intention. And so, and Vargvikernes, and this is where I think you're not as sharp as you should be. And it's when you say all game intention is fun. It's all, of course, obviously, because we play game to have fun, and so therefore that's not what the intention of the game is. If all game is triggered at fun, they it's not it takes away the intention. There should be another intention. What kind of fun? What kind of what kind of typical aesthetic you want to reach, what kind of gameplay you want to have. So therefore, saying that the intention of the game is fun, or saying that there's a game out there that it's not their intention to be fun, it doesn't help. It doesn't help the conversation at all. So anyway, so here's my thing. So if when you and also now when you get a game, and the game has a clear intention and has a specific set of rules to be played by, not utilizing these rules or going around them is playing it wrong. Now, I know there is game out there that says black on white, if you don't like the rules, change them, bind them, don't use them, go. And they mention that as a rule, the golden rule in World of Darkness, for example. And it's okay, it's quite okay. I have nothing against it. Obviously people can use their game, they own it. They can use their game the way they want. I'm talking about ideas here, so I'm not talking about can you do it or not. Of course you do it. People gave me example of how they do it. It's fucking crazy. It's okay. But to me, doesn't change the fact there is a good way to play and there's a wrong way. At least there is a better way to play and there's a worse way to play. When you get a game and you change it so much, don't forget, I talk about hacking on this channel, but to me, when I hack, I add stuff. I don't take away. I add stuff to it. So I use the game as written, plus a few things to change the dynamic of it. But I don't do that often. Really don't do that often. I usually go raw. But this is me. I'm a raw guy, rule as written. Because I do, when I don't, first, what I do is I don't get a game who the intention is not clear. When you read the game and the designer is not even able to tell you the goal of the game, and it's boring thing or abstract thing like, oh, it's a game of exploration, doesn't mean anything, and then you get a bunch of rules that doesn't mean anything. This is poor design, poor game. This, to me, this is not how I go about it. I get myself games that are clear in their design intention and that have clear rules to go by that. So therefore, I know how to play them, and not to become lost in not using rules or house ruling and all that. So to me, this is what I mean by a better way to play by the rules. It's because it's utilize the rules in a good way, interpreting the rules in a good way, and therefore creating the experience intended by the designers. So if you manage to reach that, you play it better than the ones who don't utilize the rules, change the rules, and house rule and change the tone as well, or the theme. If a game has a tone and a theme, it's like you play World of Darkness with jokes. You get yourself Vampire the Masquerade, or you get yourself Wrath the Oblivion, and you play it like a comedy. This is not the intention of Wrath. Wrath is a dark game about someone who's in between life and death, like kind of thing, and he's dead, and it's super dark, super depressive. You don't play Wrath to be a comedy. This is what I mean by right and wrong, right? Yeah. So I hope I was clear enough. I just wanted to I just want to bring it back and finish this off. I'm not gonna go further and deeper in that. Thank you again for the commentary, and yeah, I hope I managed to trigger some discussion and some thoughts in your mind. And feel free to comment and share again with me. And thank you, Another Key GM Info, for keeping it real and keeping it polite. And again, everybody, I'm sorry for my super big rant in the first part. I'm a passionate individual. We're passionate people. Sometimes you go over your head a little bit. So thank you for watching. I hope I managed to express my ideas in maybe a more comfortable fashion. All right, thank you. Talk to you soon.